So today's message, this is part 2 of Time to Switch Your Hustle, the process. See, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when we try to transition from the streets into the world, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, getting a 9 to 5 or something like that, you know, there's going to be a process. There's going to be a struggle. You know, just don't want you to think, oh, well, I'm going to do this. Look, you know, I believe you. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. Nah, it's going to be a process. Exodus 13 and 17, it says when God led the people from out of Egypt, you know, he didn't take them the shorter route. He took them the longer route because he knew if they, you know what I'm saying, would have went the shorter route, they probably would have faced war against the Philistines. So sometimes in life, God is going to take us a longer route. So God has to train us, you know, but I want to give you encouragement. 1 Peter 5 and 10, in his kindness, God called you to share in his eternal glory by means of Christ Jesus. So after you have suffered a little while, he will restore you, support, and strengthen you, and he will put you on a foundation. So what God is saying is that, you know, there's going to be some trying times when it comes to that. You know, you might not be getting money like you used to if you were selling drugs or if money was coming in fast or anything like that. I remember when I was selling movies and money was coming in fast and I was making good money. And then when God told me to transition, you know, there were some difficult days. You know, there were some days I wanted to go back to selling movies. I'm like, man, like I could have made a quick 100, like, bam, like I got to take this or whatever like that. But I had to trust God, you know what I'm saying? And I had to get rid of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I just gave all my stuff to my cousin, you know what I'm saying? I said, here, man, you know, take this. I don't even want no money back. See, I had to humble myself because if I would have, you know, said, hey, well, listen, man, give me $1 per DVD or whatever like that, that would have enticed me to go back. So sometimes you got to get rid of it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might have a stash or something. You might have to just get rid of it. But trust and believe that God said in his word that if you resist temptation, God will bless you. You know what I'm saying? 2 Corinthians 4 and 17. For our light and temporary affliction is producing for us an eternal glory. Glory that far outweighs our troubles. So Hebrews 13 and 21. So he'll equip you with every good thing to do his will, and he may accomplish in us what is pleasing in his sight through Christ Jesus, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen. See, we have to understand that, you know, our parents were sitting there praying for our family members, you know, our aunts, our uncles were praying that nothing happened to us, and they're praying in their prayers, you know, and even right now, this is a video based off of their prayers that God is sharing with me because, you know, sometimes, you know, we like, you know what, I'm cool. Like, I'll take care of this, mom. I'm going to make sure I'm going to do this, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to be smart about it, man. You got to be careful, man. Sometimes there's traps that people set, man. And, you know, sometimes it's just listening to our parents, man. You know what I'm saying? And I look back, if you look back at Ray Lewis, you know, you remember when he got charged with that killing, you know, his mother told him not to go down there. She said, I got a bad feeling, son, don't go. Now, don't get me wrong. Ray Lewis is a grown man, so you know what? He grown. I do what I want to do. All right, man, I'm going to be careful. He went down there. And we know what happened, you know what I'm saying? He got caught up and then, you know, everything got dismissed. But that was unnecessary stuff that he had to go through. I mean, let's take Plaxico Burress. You know, Plaxico Burress, we know he ended up shooting himself. That night that he went out to get a couple drinks, Plaxico said he had a bad feeling. Maybe he should have just went and grabbed a drink or something and came back home. Or maybe, you know, just grabbed something for the store and came back and sat home. You know what I'm saying? But he went out and he ended up shooting himself and went to jail over shooting yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how the state law is in you know what I'm saying, in New York. But, you know, it's just listening, man. And that's where the prayers are coming, you know what I'm saying? Because they just want us, they don't want us to die. They don't want us to get shot. They don't want us to get killed for doing stuff like that, man. You know, but we look at 1 Thessalonians 2 and 12. We encourage you and comforted you as we urge you to walk in a manner worthy of God who calls you into his kingdom and his glory. You know, 1 Timothy 4 and 8. For physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in this life to come. So when we transition, God is going to train us. You know, yeah, sometimes we don't want to look at, you know, the training process and everything like that. But we look at Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Look at this quote. I got 2 quotes. He said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. You know, and as Pastor Raymond E. Allen would say, you know, a champion for God, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he said. He said, I hate every minute of training, you know, and there's going to be some times where you hate training, you know what I'm saying? But listen, he said, live as a champion. And we know what? We call him the greatest boxer ever. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, this is another one. He said, a man who views the world at at the same age at 50 as he did when he was 20, he wasted 30. Let's get this out of my head. Here we go. He got it that time. But as he did when he was 20, he has wasted 30 years of your life. Do you want to sit here and waste 30 years of your life? You know, you sitting there working, you trying to get money, and you don't got no income tax, you know what I'm saying? You don't got no 401k, you know what I'm saying? If you being smart, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do when they come and you got 2 houses, you got 4 cars, you know what I'm saying? You got sets of rims, I mean, you got a system, I mean, and you ain't got nothing to show for it. I mean, what? You have no bank stubs or anything like that. Man, it's to the point where even if you spend $10,000 on a vehicle, cash, they will report it to the IRS. They will report it, and it comes back, and you know what I'm saying, you have to show proof. I remember, you know, Tone Green had, you know, he told us how he had, you know, had got a vehicle, paid $25,000 cash or whatever, and they had came and, you know, they wanted to check his pay stubs and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they are, you know what I'm saying? And even when if you do a money order over $1,000, they write your name down. You know what I'm saying? And I was just doing it for rent. But I was like, why y'all do this? It's like, because we just got to keep records. I'm just like, wow. So, you know what I'm saying? But Hosea 4:6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, but you have rejected knowledge. So let's bring it back in the slavery days. So we know that, you know, when, you know, as slaves, when we tried to read and everything, they cut our hands off. You know what I'm saying? They killed us, and that's what they were doing back then. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some decent people, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, there were some decent slave masters, yet they were, and even with the, you know, when you have, you know, when like Harriet Tubman and everything, when she was, you know, helping people and, you know what I'm saying, things like that, you know, there were some good people that helped, you know what I'm saying. But if you look at it now, you know what I'm saying, you look at it back then, you know what I'm saying, how they were killing us and lynching us and hanging us and stuff like that. And now they don't have to kill us anymore because all they got to do is just give us drugs and we'll kill ourselves. Why? Because I got to get mines. And if I can't get mines like you getting it, then I'm going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the #1 killer of the black man is the black man. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we look at it and we say, you know, it was bad that this Caucasian cop had killed some people and stuff like that, and certain, you know what I'm saying, certain instances like that. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I was telling somebody and they got upset. You know, the Holy Spirit was showing me that black lives is not going to matter to every other race until it matters to the black race first. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long have gangs and stuff like that, killings been going on and killing each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was born in Chicago, so I know about, you know what I'm saying, the hood and everything like that. And I was talking to somebody, you know, the other day, and I was mentoring her, you know what I'm saying, and I teach her children, and, you know, she was like, you ain't from the hood. She's like, you from the suburbs. I'm like, no, I grew up in Farrell, Pennsylvania. Like, you talking about some hood, like, we talking about projects, and, you know, I used to go to Chicago every summer, you know what I'm saying, and I knew, like, I couldn't have my hat to the side. I couldn't wear certain colors, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, but I understand, man. Like I said, God, you know what I'm saying, kept me in my mess, but that was just a testimony so I can teach others how to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens. If I would have disobeyed God and kept doing that, I mean, I could have been going to jail for movies, you know what I'm saying? And I would have had, like I said, every 100 was a felony, you know what I'm saying? They'd have been like, yeah, man, I'm in the maximum prison. They like, yeah, what you in here for, man? Yeah, I killed somebody, bro. What you in here for? It's like, yeah, man, I stabbed somebody. What you in here for? Man, I sell movies. Like, they don't even sound they don't even sound hard, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't scared. The only person I fear is God, but they don't even sound hard. Like, oh, that's what's up, bro. Like, you was getting that much. And it was funny. I remember, you know, people that got locked up, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, what's up, bro? Glad you got out, man. And I'm like, yo, how you been? He's like, good, man. It's like, yo, bro, we had nothing to talk about, man. We be in there talking about, like, yo, man, Loki got them good movies, man. Loki got them good DVDs, he got them crystal clear. I'm like, what is y'all doing talking about? See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm saying to myself in my head, like, what is y'all doing talking about that stuff in there, man? Don't be telling nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because I always knew that, you know what I'm saying, that you don't never want to make it look like you got a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? That's especially when you're doing something illegal, because that's when they come after you, you know what I'm saying? So, But, you know, I was just sitting there like, oh, man, like, it's just, I'm like, yo, bro, don't be talking about me when you in the, you know what I'm saying, you in the joint, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely something that, you know, that they were talking about. But they were talking about because of the quality of the product that I showed. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? And think about it. I'm like, you know what? I know everything in there is recorded or whatever the case may be. All right, baby. Love you.
Love you, y'all.
She about to go to school, so yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, shut the door. But that's my thing though, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, okay, and my thing is just to teach people, man, and how to get out of that, man. I'm telling you, man, like, God has been blessing me, man, and you know what I'm saying, because I've been obedient to him, man. And I thank God for that, because I got to teach my kids, you know what I'm saying, about how to be a real man, you know what I'm saying, about being able to teach them how to you know, make it. Like, listen, I hustled, I did this, I DJ'd. People know I took my kids to you know, with me when I didn't have a babysitter, you know what I'm saying? And some people accepted it and some people talked about me, man, but it is what it is, because I was going to be a good dad anyway. I was going to take care of my children. Sometimes I didn't have a babysitter, you know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, well, yeah, we don't want to get Loki because he bring his kids. Really? Like, I'm sitting here trying to, like, you could have helped me, or you could have, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not even worried about them people, man, because I know what God was doing, man. And listen, man, I was going to be a good dad regardless, man. So I was going to try to be, you know what I'm saying, do my best, and that's what it is. I mean, you knew you was getting a good DJ, but sometimes you had to bring the kids. Like I said, my kids wasn't, you know, pretty much disrupting stuff, because I always had, like, the TV back there. But, you know, so I understand, though. You know, that was my job. So, but, you know what I'm saying? But I just definitely wanted to say that, man. Listen, like I said, if you want to inbox me and talk about life, man, listen, I'm here, man. Or if this really hit you, man, listen, man. And it don't matter if you see this a year from now, man. Hit me up. Regardless, man, listen, man, God is talking to you, man, because God does not operate in time, man. You can see this a month from now and it'd be right where you needed to see it, you know what I'm saying? And God hit you. So I just want to let y'all know, man, we coming up on 12 minutes, but, you know what I'm saying, this is some real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we out here destroying each other and we don't need to be. Love y'all. God bless.